This is the 6 Scale Gallery and welcome to the channel. If it's your first time viewing one of my videos, thank you so much. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. It would mean the world to me. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for choosing to watch the video. This video is going to be a little bit different to the ones I've done so far. The other ones have been kind of studies of head sculpts, kind of comparing to each other, or just having a general kind of showcase of a head sculpt. This one is kind of looking more at my Instagram feed. We're going to go through it and pick out what I consider my personal favorite images that I've shot so far. We'll have a little look at them. I'll talk to you a little bit about them. All of the images were shot using a Nikon D810 camera, and along with the images you're going to see the information about the lens that I used, as well as the camera settings that they were shot with. So yeah, with all that said, let's get on with it. So to begin with, we'll start with one of my more recent images, and that is the DX15 Captain Jack Sparrow by Hot Toys. The tone that I wanted to create with this image was just really kind of warm and, you know, idealistic. So I put a lens flare just off to the side of the sculpt to kind of, you know, give the effect of the sun, you know, popping up behind the character. The sculpt is just outstanding. I absolutely love it. The likeness to Johnny Depp is 100% there, and the moving eyeballs are just perfect for figure photography. Next up is this custom Bruce Wayne head sculpt on the DX19 body. I absolutely love this head sculpt. I think the likeness to Christian Bale as Batman is just unbelievable, and the artists who made it did an incredible job. I really like this image as well. It just really captures that kind of haunted, you know, turmoil of Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I just really like this one. So this next image is another custom head sculpt, this time by Max Nutt, and it's a Tony Stark battle damaged head sculpt. So with this image, I really tried to capture a sense of the kind of the anguish of getting beaten by Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. I added a slight lens flare again, like the Jack Sparrow image, but this time to give it more of a sense of that kind of orangey, you know, the atmosphere of Titan, and just yeah, I know there were a lot of lens flares in that scene, especially when the team on Titan lost, and they were coming to the realization that Thanos had won, essentially. Okay, this next image is the DX19, and it's actually kind of a rejected shot from a collaboration I've got coming with the 6 Scale Salad. It didn't really fit with what we were going for, but I decided to post it anyway. I love the use of the Joker card from the In Art Joker 2-pack. Yeah, I think the vibe is kind of, you know, he's found it at a crime scene and he's kind of just looking at it, and yeah, quite like that one. So this next image is of the DX19 again, but it's more of a straight up portrait shot. Again, the moving eyeballs on the DX19 is just a godsend for figure photography. Like, you can move them around and change completely the look of the figure. You know, you could point them up and make them look more menacing, point them to the left, to the right, and you can just create a completely different vibe with each one. I think the lighting is quite cinematic on this one. I think that's another reason why I quite like this shot. I actually managed to print this image off. I don't typically print the images that I shoot, but yeah, for this one I made an exception and sent it to one of my buddies, who's also a big Dark Knight fan. Yeah, I'm very proud of this image, and I was really eager to see what it would look like on in a physical printout, and I think it looked pretty good. So this image is a little bit different to the images that I normally shoot, because it's more of that type of toy photography where you try and make it look like a screen grab from a movie. I don't normally shoot that stuff because I'm not very good at it. I've tried it before and it's never looked that good. I think this is probably the only one that I was ever happy with. And I basically just shot the Mark 50 head sculpt on its own, and took a screen grab from the Avengers, one of the heads up display scenes, and I just in Photoshop just painted out Robert Downey Jr.'s face and layered my shot onto it. I think I put like a filter on it to make it look a little bit more cold, and just to try and match the tone of the image that I was pasting it onto. And I put like a really harsh black vignette around the head sculpt just to kind of make it look like the light was like the film, like the light was coming through the eyepieces of the helmet, or his face is being illuminated by the heads up display. This image I'm very proud of. Of all the images on my Instagram account, I think I've had people say the most nice things about this one. Yeah, I think people really like the fact that Two-Face himself is out of focus and the coin is the focal point of the shot. Like, even though it's a portrait shot, it's not a typical portrait shot because the subject is not in focus. The subject is just a coin, but because it's so vital to the character, I really wanted to make that the focal point, and just have a hint in the background that this, who it is. So this image of Star-Lord, I think I saw a piece of concept art maybe, and just really wanted to kind of emulate it. I can't remember what the origin of the idea was, but I was using flash photography for this one. Normally now I use like a ring light, kind of like a constant light, but for this one this was flash. So because it was flash, the LEDs in the eyes were kind of getting lost because the flash was more powerful than it. So what I did was just took a paintbrush in Photoshop, a red paintbrush, and just dotted it twice on each of the eyes. So what you're seeing there isn't the actual light, it's a red paintbrush. Next up is this custom head sculpt by Eleven and Vimal of Loki. I think they absolutely nailed the Tom Hiddleston likeness with this one, way better than the Hot Toys version. I'm a really big Loki fan, so this was an absolute must for me. They've really captured Loki's personality, his mischievous personality. He's the god of mischief. He needs to have like that subtle smirk. The Hot Toys one was the Ragnarok version was far too serious, and yeah, they absolutely nailed it. I'm just a big fan of this image just because of the way just of how good the sculpt is, basically, not because of my skills as a photographer, if there are any. It's all about how amazing this sculpt looks. You'd have to really try to do a bad job taking a picture of this thing. It looks incredible. Okay, so we're at the second to last image, and this is a portrait of the original Ant-Man from Ant-Man by Hot Toys. I think that the likeness to Paul Rudd they really nailed it first time and kind of went downhill, I think, with every release since. just my personal opinion, I think that this one looks like Paul Rudd the most. I love this image. I like the hand out of focus in the foreground, just about to press the shrink button or the enlarge button. I can't remember which hand does which, but yeah, I really like this portrait. I think the likeness is just spot on, and it just makes me smile every time I look at it. Okay, so this is it, the final image we're going to look at today. If you've watched this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know this is not my usual style of video. I don't usually put my voice or my face into these things. This is my first voiceover, so I hope it hasn't been too excruciating for you. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you. The last image we're going to look at is the in-art Joker. Now, this is probably my favorite piece in the collection. It's absolutely amazing. In-art did such a fantastic job with the portrait. This thing just looks like Heath Ledger's Joker, no questions asked, from every single angle. Not many head sculpts look like the subject from every single angle, but this thing absolutely does. And I absolutely love this kind of the jail cell version head sculpt with the slight smirk and the more messed up makeup. I really, again, with the moving eyeballs, like, you can get such a different tone to an image just by moving the eyeballs. And with this one, I kind of pointed them upwards and tilted his head down and kind of shot it slightly from above, just to give that sense of the Joker's, like, he just has such a disdain for humanity in The Dark Knight. Yeah, I really try to convey that sense of just absolute hatred that he has for other people. I absolutely love the sculpt, and I love shooting it. So there we have it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. If you'd like me to comment on more of my images, let me know in the comments, and I'd love to make another video like this. But yeah, if you could like and share this video, that would mean the absolute world to me. And if you could subscribe to the channel and see more content that's coming up, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one.